So I want to talk about something. You know, I've been watching a lot of videos on increasing vibration, increasing your frequency, how to line up with the frequency of money, how to manifest your reality. Oh goodness, I've been seeing a whole lot of this since 2020 when the COVID started, right? When it started in real time, when we saw it in the physical realm manifest. Goodness gracious. I mean, people talked about so much how to reprogram your mind to get money, how to get money. And a lot of people was talking about going vegan more than ever. And reprogramming your mind for success and how to create your reality and how to align with this and how to align with that. Goodness gracious. All this good sounding stuff, and I'm not saying that none of it's true. But why do I have to keep working so hard to align with money? Why not just the people work together to remove capitalism? Why can't the greedy folks get removed? Why do I have to work so hard? Are these people really working hard to align their frequency and align their vibration with money, or they just might know the right people and they're related to the right people? They related to the right people. Or they might know the right people, but they might be in other societies where they have a top rank. There's a lot of people that don't have to do all that hard work with their doggone frequencies. Sometimes it's just a bloodline that allows them to be filthy freaking rich. It's a lot of dictators, people that's these tyrants that's doing a lot of stuff. Did Bill Gates have to work hard to align his frequency? Did Jeff Bezos have to work hard to align his frequencies? What's his name? Mark Zuckerberg have to do all this work to align his frequencies? And those are not even the people that's really running the show. Those are not even the people, because the people that really run the show are unseen. So most what you see the Bill Gates and people doing, the people that you can really see, they're probably being told what to do. Some of the richest people are some of the most cruel, ruthless folks. You know, you see these videos about how you got to be all this and that to get what you want. If you want kindness, you got to give kindness. If you want love, you got to give love. If you want respect, you got to give respect. I don't think so. I've seen some of the most disrespectful people, some of the most evil people get what they want. Some of the most ruthless people get what they want. Okay? So I'm starting to see that this is another, like I said, it's not to say it's not true, but this seems to be like another gimmick. It's another gimmick because in all of those messages, while you trying to tell somebody to align their frequency with money, listen, in matriarchy, before all this mess happened, or just before capitalism altogether, people ain't have to work so hard to align their doggone frequency with money. Why is it so hard to get money, something that you need to survive? Why is it so hard to get something that you need to survive? Does that make sense to anybody? See, that lets me know a lot of people have become very unnatural, or they just got to the point where say, forget it, there's nothing I can do about it, so let me just do what I got to do, you know. Just do what I gotta do. I had to get mine either way I can. And sometimes you have to do that for the time being, but why do you have to work so hard to get something to survive when that's not the way it's always been? It hasn't been always like that on the history of Earth. And this is not the original Earth anyway. This is a fake Earth. It's not even a real reality. So now you got to suffer in something that's not even a real freaking world. That's a simulation. It's not even a real world. Literally, this is what was told to me, because I can't get other people to believe what was told to me in the spirit, I guess, in the spirit. And that I'm under a digital dome that's pretty much controlled by codes. It's like everything is run by codes. Not even in physical bodies, you just have codes and you're programmed to think a certain way and believe a certain way and all of this. These are all codes. A lot of stuff that's going on with generational curses, there's a lot of codes involved. It might be a matter of changing the codes. Now, how do we do that? See, that's something I got to research. Okay? So, that's what I'm talking about. Talking about aligning your frequency where you're suffering this because of all this. And you get all of these gurus that's so good with money, that's so good with high frequencies and so good talking about what you need to do. Well, they're making money themselves because they know people are desperate. It's the same thing with the relationship advice. People want love. People want money more than ever, and so they create these large platforms, and they know how to say that they have that. They're like preachers. They're very charismatic, and now it's all about the energy and the mental and the energy. Okay, and they're charismatic. They're like preachers, and people want the answer. I just want the answer. How do I do? Why you gotta work so hard to be a natural freaking person? You not even natural. Why the hell you gotta work so hard? Look, the wild animals ain't got to do that shit. The squirrels ain't got to do that shit. Okay, the animals in the freaking jungle don't have to do that. They just live. They survive. The only time they have a hard time surviving is when people... Sorry, I'm moving my tablet around. Okay. It's when people... when you have certain people... that just like to destroy the lands, take over lands, and want to kill up everything. That's when you have life that have a hard time, like going down and destroying the doggone forest or killing all certain animals and stuff. And that's when you have that's when life is in trouble, when you have these certain entities of people that run the world. That's the reason why life is so hard. Life is hard for the wild. Life is even hard for the wild. Okay? There's so many species of animals that's just, they're leaving, they're going. Why? Because you have people that feel like they have the right to kill them. And now they're endangered species. Okay, so I don't think I'm interested in all these frequencies and shit. This seems to be a little bit too hard. It seems to be a problem that's around the world. It's not just me that's seeing this. This seems to be an issue. When animals that used to just be free in the wild for millions of years, animals that used to just be free in the wild, all of a sudden you get certain entities that take over for the last, 6,000 years. You get certain entities that take over for the last 6,000 years, and all of a sudden the animals die. All of a sudden it's just hard to live. All of a sudden you can't hardly get food. You got to starve. You got to die. You can't have a place to live. I mean, you can't even have areas where you just take the food off of trees or whatever. I mean, like they getting rid of that. Like Bill Gates is going around buying up a lot of farms. A lot of people who have these public farms, these big farms, these people are going and getting it from them. They're getting it from them. See? So, I'm starting to see that when people preach these messages, it's not real and it's just another gimmick. And certain parts of it can be real. That's the trick. There's always going to be some truth to anything somebody might say. The same thing with a crooked pastor. It's going to be some truth to one or two things he might say. But the biggest issue is the people that's running the world. The entities that's running the world that loves the fear. They get their energy from people having that's constantly being put in survival mode, that's constantly in fear. They get their energy. That's how they survive. Okay? You're in a dimension where it's run off of blood sacrifices. Why isn't anybody talking about that if they want to talk about some frequencies? I mean, the biggest people with the money are really some of these lowest vibrational vampires. I'm talking about real vampires. Okay? So I'm seeing that it's a lot of bullshit. It's bullshit. I can try to align with the frequency of money all I want to. I shouldn't have to work that freaking hard. Why is something so hard to get to survive? I shouldn't have to do all that. Something is wrong with that. Okay, something is wrong with it. And I know people just say, well, I got to do what I got to do, and that's fine. But eventually, whoever these entities are that's running the world, eventually they're going to be overturned by other entities. And I think that's already in the process of happening. And I get that people got to survive. I can do too. But I would be careful being too complacent with what's happening, because this should not be happening. It should never be a time where you have even animals that's becoming endangered species, all this stuff happening. It's not supposed to happen. None of that's supposed to be happening. During the period of matriarchy, the more healthy matriarchy, when everybody worked together, everybody got their own food, they were communal. Nobody's, that kind of stuff didn't exist. So that means there is a problem with the people that's controlling the world. There's a problem. I don't want to keep hearing about all these doggone conferences or whatever, or seminars about aligning your frequency with money or trying to get into a high vibration of happiness. I do work on stuff like that. I still work on gratitude and all that stuff. It's not that I don't work on those things, but that is not the biggest thing that's in the way. The biggest thing that's in the way is allowing a group of people that's soulless to control the world. Because if you allow a bunch of soulless beings and a bunch of soulless beings are controlling the world, okay, well then they don't care about your soul. Why would they care about your soul when they don't even have one? You can't even get mad that they don't care about your soul because they don't have one. They don't know what it's like to care about it. And these are the people that's running the world. That's the biggest issue, not constantly getting on that frequency of gratitude or joy. They need to be moved out the way. It's only so high in frequency you can get as long as they are around. Okay? And they're going to be moved. Somehow they're going to be moved, so I'm not going to try to figure that out. But what I'm saying is, I would caution constantly just trying to go along with this particular system. I would caution that. Okay? So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I just wanted to talk about all these people that's all these experts in frequencies and vibrations and money and making money and all this stuff. I noticed a lot of this started happening big time ever since 2020. Okay? But anyway, that's it, and I'll talk later.